For years, the skincare industry has been dominated by a no pain, no gain approach. We've been told to strip, scrub, and peel our skin into submission. But is the era of harsh skincare coming to an end? Well, often the latest products we see with shiny marketing campaigns are just the same old ingredients repackaged. But every now and then, something genuinely disruptive emerges. A technology or approach that feels like a real step forward rather than just another trend. Today, I want to walk you through 4 home skincare innovations that have genuinely impressed me, not just because of the science, but because in some cases I've seen them make a noticeable difference to my own skin. We're going to look at Exosomes and Regenerative skincare, a new generation of super antioxidants, microbiome boosting skincare, including products containing actual live bacteria, and a progression in red light therapy that helps prevent us from overdoing it. One area that has absolutely exploded in skincare is topical peptides, and I've explored the science behind them along with the best ingredients in an episode that I'll link below in the description. But related to peptides, yet far more complex and potentially more effective in skincare, are exosomes and growth factors. Now, if peptides are essentially tiny signaling molecules that tell the skin to do certain things like make more collagen, exosomes are more like microscopic delivery packages released naturally by our own cells. They carry large amounts of information between cells and contain a mix of things like proteins, growth factors, amino acids, and lipids, so they're much more multifunctional than peptides alone. We're also seeing a massive surge in PDRN, traditionally derived from salmon DNA, and probably most of you have heard of the so-called salmon sperm facial. Who came up with that? I don't know. That's one very strange fishing expedition. But friends who've had polynucleotides injected into their skin say they love the results. PDRN has already been used medically in wound healing and tissue repair, and the theory is it may help support cellular repair and skin regeneration. So now we have exosomes and PDRN in skincare, but without injecting it beneath the surface, it's going to be harder for those clever messengers to cross the skin barrier and deliver results comparable to injectables. Well, I've used Calosum's multi-action cream for several years now. It uses what's called conditioned media extracted from stem cells in the umbilical cord lining of red deer. Umbilical cords are waste products, so this is an ethically created range. And importantly, it contains the messengers released by the stem cells, things like growth factors and exosomes, rather than the stem cells themselves. I keep using it because I find it incredibly effective at reducing hormone-linked redness and rosacea. In fact, where until recently I was cycling with it because it's pricey, I'm now using it daily to prevent flare-ups as I navigate perimenopause. It's a lot of fun. And then another of my favourite skincare brands, Medic 8, has just launched a plant-derived exosome and PDRN serum using some very clever bioengineering that I can't even begin to understand or explain. But like Calosum, it contains millions of these little cell messengers, which is what separates these products from a simple peptide serum. At the budget end, you've got something like the Inky-less exosome serum, also plant-derived and containing another interesting ingredient called Ectoin, which I'm going to come back to shortly. And what's interesting to me is that skincare does seem to be moving away from hurting or provoking the skin into renewal, and instead towards supporting the skin's own repair systems biologically. Now, before we look at our second area of innovation, a quick word from today's sponsor, the Tria 4X hair removal laser, something that has made a huge difference to my skin confidence. A couple of years ago, I trialed the Tria laser over a 10-week period as part of a comparison review with a number of at-home hair removal devices. And what makes the Tria different is that it's a permanent solution. While IPL uses a broad spectrum of light and tends to require more ongoing maintenance, laser uses a precise wavelength to directly target the hair follicle for more permanent reduction. The Tria 4X laser is a powerful at-home device delivering up to 20 joules of energy. Clinical lasers typically operate at around 25 joules, so this is the most powerful but safe hair removal you can get at home. The latest model is even quicker to use, and many users report near complete or 100% hair reduction after the recommended 6 to 8 sessions done every 2 weeks, roughly 12 to 16 weeks for total treatment. These were my underarms after just 10 weeks, with already a 75% reduction in hair growth. And I also found the Tria laser extremely effective on darker hairs around my upper lip and stubborn hairs around my knees that had survived despite months of IPL treatments. So I see the Tria laser as a cost-effective solution, and even more so with my 10% discount code HONEST when you buy through the link in the description below. Now let's take a look at the second innovation worth paying attention to, the rise of what I'm calling super antioxidants. Most of us are familiar with vitamin C, which helps neutralize the free radicals generated by things like UV exposure and pollution. But newer ingredients are now emerging that go beyond traditional antioxidants and aim to protect the skin in more sophisticated ways. One example is Bacillus lysate, derived from bacteria linked to research into organisms capable of surviving extreme conditions, including space. These organisms evolved powerful survival mechanisms against oxidative stress and environmental damage, properties that may also help protect human skin and support hydration. This ingredient was introduced to the skincare market by US-based biotech firm DelaVie Sciences and is used in their Aeonia age-defying serum, which I've tried and find really hydrating and calming on my skin. Another example is Ectoin. I mentioned it earlier. It's a protective molecule produced by microorganisms that survive in harsh environments like salt lakes and deserts. What's fascinating about Ectoin is that it forms a kind of protective hydration shell around cells, helping stabilize them under stress. So rather than acting like a traditional antioxidant alone, it seems to help protect the skin barrier, reduce water loss, and calm inflammation, making it particularly interesting for stressed or sensitive skin. So you're going to find it in products from higher end brands like Allies of Skin, but I've also tried it in a lower price moisturizer from Exosomes, which I thought was an excellent formulation. And I'm going to link in the description and in the comments to the product examples I'm mentioning today if you want to take a look at them. And if you head over to my website, honest.scot, you'll find everything discussed today wrapped up in a helpful article. You'll also find my latest episodes right at the top of the homepage so you can easily keep up. And if you scroll down to the bottom of any page on my website, you can sign up to my newsletter if you want me to send my latest content direct to your inbox. Now, completely different because it's a chemical antioxidant, but also fascinating, is methylene blue. It's been used medically for decades, but researchers recently became interested in it because of its antioxidant and mitochondrial supporting properties. Since mitochondria are essentially the energy-producing batteries inside our cells, the theory is that methylene blue may help support cellular energy while also protecting skin from oxidative stress. I've used Blueline's sunscreen moisturizer for years now, exactly because of this reason. It includes methylene blue, and it's one of those products that just agrees with my skin. It protects without clogging. And once again, these are examples of innovations that are aimed at protecting the skin at a much deeper cellular level and trying to optimize what it does naturally for itself. Now let's move on to our third area of innovation: replenishing the microbiome. One of the biggest discoveries in recent years is that our skin isn't just a covering, it's a living ecosystem. Covering our skin are billions of microbes known collectively as the skin microbiome. And for decades, we've been encouraged to scrub and sterilize our skin with harsh cleansers. But microbiome researchers, including Dr. Thomas Hitchcock, who I've interviewed on this channel, describe the skin as a holobiont, an environment where human cells and microorganisms constantly regulate each other.
So when we think about a biome in particular, we think of all the constituents of that particular. So when you said the skin as an organ, that's correct. But under the holobiont philosophy, I would consider the skin as an organ comprised of not just the human part of skin, but also the microbes of the skin.
Healthy skin may depend less on wiping bacteria out and more on maintaining harmony. And ironically, some of us may actually have damaged our skin barriers in pursuit of perfect skin. This becomes even more important as we age because our skin naturally produces less sebum or oil, which is the primary food source for many beneficial microbes. And we're now seeing new skincare innovations emerging all the time aimed at helping us increase the number of good bacteria on our skin. Interestingly, people with healthier skin microbiomes have been observed in studies to have fewer visible signs of aging, including wrinkles and dryness. Among the innovations is BioJuve, co-created by Dr. Hitchcock, which actually uses live bacteria designed to help balance the microbiome. Then there's Galine, hope I said that right, and I just ordered up their moisturizer after finding them while researching this episode. Their formulas include prebiotic fibers and sugars to feed beneficial bacteria, probiotic ferments to support the skin barrier, and postbiotics like lactic acid to help maintain healthy skin pH and hydration. And microbiome supporting skincare is probably one of the biggest areas to watch in the coming years. Finally, let's talk about smarter red light therapy. For years, the focus has been on power, more LEDs, higher intensity. But what if more isn't actually better? Red and near-infrared light work largely by stimulating mitochondria, the energy-producing batteries inside our cells, helping support collagen production, healing, and cellular repair. But there's something called a biphasic dose response. Too little light may do very little, but too much may actually reduce the benefits or overstimulate our skin. And this is why pulsed red light is so interesting. Instead of delivering light continuously, it delivers it in carefully timed bursts. The theory is that this allows cells brief recovery periods between pulses, potentially maintaining optimal stimulation while reducing oxidative stress. This science was flagged to me by Maysama Skincare founder Bev May Sanderson, who I have also interviewed on this channel a couple of times, and she's been a big advocate of pulse technology for a while now.
And this is one of the studies that I was going to refer to by Barrelet, where he's used pulsed near-infrared light. And the pulse light worked particularly well for reducing melasma. By pulsing the light on and off, you're controlling the energy dose and you're not heating the skin. You're giving it time to cool between pulses, which is really effective. Not only that, but he found that pulse near infrared gave a solar protective effect. So it actually helped condition the skin for future onslaughts of UV. Amazing.
I used their pulsed light panel for a couple of years and recently switched to their new Aura LED mask, which I now use for the preset 6 minutes each day. And with red light, like so many aspects of skincare, the goal increasingly seems to be getting just enough stimulation without stressing our skin cells. So I think we'll see many more smart masks like the Aura emerging in the years ahead, because the future of skincare technology may not be about delivering more energy to the skin, but about delivering it in a way that works more intelligently and harmoniously with the skin's own biology. That's why you're seeing other red companies like Current Body, Omnilux, and Higher Dose increasingly focusing not just on wavelengths and intensity, but on treatment optimization, dosing, and combinations of different light frequencies. Alongside the products mentioned today, you're also going to find in the description links to related episodes and articles from me giving more information on some of the topics discussed, along with my own daily skincare routine. But all of these innovations point towards one destination in the future: personalized AI-assisted skincare. Instead of generic anti-aging creams designed for millions of people, we're moving towards treatments tailored to your individual genetics, hormones, skin type, and microbiome. We're already seeing AI-powered scanning systems capable of analyzing hydration, inflammation, and aspects of skin health to create bespoke skincare recommendations. Now, because we still don't fully understand all the microorganisms that make up the skin microbiome or exactly what they all do, it's going to take time before truly personalized skincare becomes reality. But whether it's supporting repair through exosomes, nourishing the microbiome, or using smarter red light therapy, the next phase of skincare isn't just about looking younger, it's about helping skin function better, remain healthier for longer, and age more resiliently over time. So I hope you found these insights interesting. Are you using any of these innovations? Where do you see skincare headed in the future? Let me know in the comments. And if you enjoyed this episode, please do hit subscribe or follow to see more from the Honest channel. It helps the channel grow so that we can keep bringing you the best information and high quality content that we can. And you'll see a link below where you can find out more about joining the channel as a member to access regular behind the scenes content from me and additional benefits. But until next time, thanks so much for being here today.